Hello, hello, hello to my fan base. This is David, the sports and gamer nerd, and we are here during Steelers week, which is also the end of the Ravens bye week. Um, we want to talk today, do a little bit of a just kind of like where we are right now and the way forward for Baltimore. So I want to start by just talking a little bit about where we are. Um, we're we're 5-1. We're coming out of the bye week. There's a lot of exciting news that's happened in the past week or so. Um, I've done videos on it, but just a quick recap: the Ravens signed Unique Ngakwe. They did a trade with the Vikings. And then we also, of course, signed Des Bryant to the practice squad. So with that, let's get started here. So we're 5-1 uh, coming into the bye week. Like I said, this is Steelers week, and so as we think about that, we got our two new players. Unique Ngakwe and Des Bryant. It looks like Ngakwe will actually be able to play this Sunday and contribute. I think Des Bryant may have a week or two to get in shape, and then he'll be able to join the team on game day. So really exciting stuff. Our team looks like it's gearing up for the second half of the season, which is awesome. And oh, by the way, guys, go ahead and hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Soroya Tinker. Not sure if you guys got a chance to see the interview I did with the female hockey player, but if you get a chance, go back and watch that interview. I think it was very informative and pretty awesome of her to do the interview. But yeah, let's keep going. Let's talk a little bit about just like where we are in the league and everything. So right now with the trade deadline coming up, it looks like there's a lot of sellers out there, a lot of net sellers with the bad teams. And a couple things come to mind as far as like I know we still need perhaps another receiver and perhaps a tight end. So when you think about Texas, the state of Texas, they got a lot of wide receivers down there with two pretty bad teams. So with the Houston Texans, you got Will Fuller, who's a good deep threat, and also Brandon Cooks, who's another deep threat, and also a bit of a journeyman. But both of those guys seem to be available for a trade, and that will be great. I think Brandon Cooks brings a little bit more than Will Fuller. Brandon Cooks will be a great addition to the Ravens. The other team, of course, is Dallas Cowboys, are net sellers right now. And obviously, Amari Cooper. And to keep beating a dead horse, Michael Gallup. Trading for either of those guys would add a lot of value to the Ravens and just like another dynamic. Also, the Giants, they have Golden Tate. They have Slayton and also Sterling Shepard. Any of those guys would add a little bit of something to our wide receiving core as well. I think with the addition of Des Bryant and the expectation of Des Bryant, the focus will probably shift to a third tight end. I know we tried to get Zach Ertz before he got put on IR. So that kind of, threw a wrench into that plan. But there's also Evan Ingram from the Giants and also the potential option for getting back Hayden Hurst if he would be interested in coming back. But we definitely need a tight end, a third tight end to just for depth purposes. to make that run and also give Nick Boyle and, of course, Mark Andrews a bit of a reprieve during the games, kind of lessen their minutes as we go forward for the playoffs. Defensively, I think we're completely set. I think there's one glaring need possibly, and that would be for a slot cornerback. I think we may need a slot cornerback, let Marlon Humphrey go back to his natural position on the outside a little bit. So I think you can get a pretty pretty cheap slot cornerback right now in the league. I think there's plenty of guys who can come in and fill that role. And like I said, guys, that's pretty much where we are. I mean, it's Steelers week. We all know what that means. They are undefeated, and we have one loss. So essentially, this weekend can be looked at as the AFC North championship, the first of two, right? Because we have to play them again in a few weeks. But this is a very winnable game for the Ravens. If you watch the Steelers, they struggled versus the Titans, and a couple of their wins have been, pretty ugly. I think, especially with our additions to the team, and I know Ngagwe is most likely going to play. Des Bryant isn't, but I think this should be a good victory for the Ravens. I think it'll be a closer game. It actually might be semi high scoring. I think it'll be more one of those maybe 28-21 Ravens type scores. But the Steelers, they're going to get some passes. They have always been able to draft wide receivers. They've always been able to develop wide receivers. So I expect Ben Roethlisberger to throw the ball a lot. However, that will actually play into the Ravens' strengths now with our pass rush. We should be able to rush the passer without blitzing. Should be able to stop the run. I know Connor's pretty good there, but I think the Ravens would be completely fine being able to stop the run against those guys. And I think on the flip side for us, it's just going to be about Lamar Jackson getting rid of the ball, not holding on to the ball too long. Because I know guys like TJ Watt and those boys are going to get after the quarterback. They're going to be disciplined. They're not going to lose contain, things like that. So we just got to be a better, more physical team against those guys. We have the ability to, and we have the personnel to do it. We definitely got to use Gus the Bus. We got to wear those guys down early and often, and we got to use Devin Duvernay and misdirection plays and so forth. We got to tire out that Steelers defense. Definitely keep them on the field. I think that's the best way to beat the Steelers. Keep their defense on the field and use misdirection, use our running backs, use our tight ends, and then when we can, hit the big play. I think it's going to be crucial to use guys other than Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews eventually. I think sending Devin Duvernay on a deep route, even using James Prochet on some of the intermediate routes would actually be great as well. Going to be a lot of running, hopefully, for us, a lot of blocking, and just beating those guys up in the trenches. And, even at his age now, Roethlisberger can still make some things happen. He can still extend plays, but I think we'll be able to get to him. We'll be able to slow him down. Hopefully we can bat some balls, things like that, because they do have a great receiving core. But like I said, I think it'll be about 28-21 Ravens, and that's how we'll move forward. So it's been a great first half of the season. We're actually doing better than we did last year at this point in the season. Last year we were 4-2. This year we are 5-1. So we're actually doing better. I know there's a lot of people out there that think Lamar is actually doing worse, but statistically he's not. He's actually on par, and in some ways he's actually performing a little better than he did last year. Um, Obviously, we're a team that is expected to do well in the regular season, and it's all about the playoffs. So, here's hoping that we've made enough moves and we can stay COVID free and we can stay healthy. If we can do those things, we should be able to make some noise here in January and February. It looks like the more I analyze the second half of the season, we can beat the Steelers twice. We can also beat those Titans. Just got to stop the run against the Titans, and then we got the Colts, which can be a challenge, but we should be able to beat those guys as well. There's really no one on the schedule that I think we'll lose to at all. I think the challenges are the Steelers twice and the Titans, but beyond that, it looks like the Patriots are falling apart. Um, and yeah, I don't think Cleveland is for real. I think they're a joke. So, you know, I think that the second half of the season should be pretty good for us. Um, and that's really it. We have had a great first half, 5-1. And I want to give a personal shout out to Eric DaCosta. I am so pleased with him as a general manager. He's just been so aggressive, trying to get so many guys for us. We've heard so many stories of Eric DaCosta, trying to trade for DeAndre Hopkins and Zach Ertz and all the different pass rushers he tried to get. So like he lands some things once in a while, but he's always trying. He's always trying. And that's a great GM to have because you never know who we're going to add. But what we do know is that Eric DaCosta is keenly aware of what we need, and he's going after it for us. And you can't really ask for anything more than that out of your general manager. So I think so far, so great. I mean, he's drafted what, like 4 wide receivers. He's not afraid to do that. He's not afraid to go out and make trades. I know he hates giving up draft capital, but he's still willing to do it if he thinks that it's what's best for the team. I love his approach. I think he's setting himself up to be one of the greatest general managers, really in NFL history, if he keeps going the way he's going and being aggressive. The handoff from Ozzie was just seamless, and I love this organization. I think if you're a business person out there, you can learn a lot from this sports organization as far as personnel, how to build a team, both on and off the field, how to create a culture, and how to have just great personnel. But yeah, guys, this is getting ready to start the second half of the season. I think we're in a great spot. Like I said, stay healthy, stay COVID free, no injuries. Hopefully, we can get Des Bryant on the field. Get Des Bryant on the field maybe in a week or so. I know Unique Ngakoue will play this Sunday. Hopefully, he'll get a couple sacks. But I think we're in good hands. I think the Ravens are honestly in good hands. I'm not looking at it and drinking a purple Kool-Aid. I'm just being honest. I think we're in good hands, and I think that we're going to make some noise here in the second half of the season. Hopefully, go ahead and maybe get that one bye week before the playoffs because there's only going to be one this year. But yeah, so those are my thoughts, guys. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please hit the like button. please share. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. And like I said, if you guys haven't seen it already, go ahead and watch the interview with Soroya Tinker on my channel. She's a black female hockey player, and she has a great story. And I think you guys will get a lot out of it. Um, but yeah, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. My channel is still fairly new, but we've been doing pretty well. So go ahead and leave your comments. I will try to respond to every single person. Also, remember that our merch store is up right now. It's in a description to my channel, and you can go there and kind of look at what we got and even give me feedback on designs and so forth. But yeah, appreciate all your time. This is David, the sports and gamer nerd, and this has been my Ravens report coming out of the bye. This is Steelers week, and so go Ravens, do what we do, and I will talk to you guys in a couple days. Hopefully, after a Ravens big victory this weekend. All righty, peace out, guys. Be safe. Talk to you soon.